Yeah. So we were learning this halacha about based on the concept that the Bape Cluster really doesn't apply too much. If there's a meeting, if there was, oh no, he was talking here about anytime someone speaks in public, a Rav gives a drasha, and unfortunately it's common that afterwards people have comments to make about it, which if they're not positive, they would be lashon hara, and you can't say, well, he said it in public, so I'm allowed to talk about it, whatever. So he says over here, you should know. This is even true if the person making fun of the drasha. It's all true. The guy had nothing to say. He was a fool. Still, also he says it's still also to express that in front of someone listening and explaining to him why there was nothing to hear and he didn't say anything. But when you give it a lot of thought, but when you really examine it, you'll see that this person who's mocking the shir, the drasha, is in fact including a lot of lies. He says this many times. It's common that when these people who make fun, they say the guy doesn't even know what he himself doesn't know what he's talking about. Mitatefe means he's mistakes. Because to be tulam v'leitzonis, as common when you're making fun of something. Shema v'isim esleip sheimehem. In parentheses. More than that, they spread false information about him. And they say everything he said, his intent was only Rak Shahanos Atzma. He's only doing it for himself. And it says, but it's not true. You don't say that if he didn't have to make a pranosa, basically he wouldn't travel around to make these speeches to give teichacha. It's because he gets paid for it. Even if it would be true that if he didn't need the money, he wouldn't say the drasha. But still, how could the guy know to say the one making fun of the drasha? How is he able to make such a statement? His only intention is for the money. Perhaps while he's saying the drasha, it's true. He's traveling and he's saying these drashas because he gets paid for them. But when he speaks, who says he's not doing it with the right intention? That people should hear the Divrei Torah, the Divrei Musa, and be inspired. Just that the speaker's intention is that also that he should be supported. Just as we do find in Chazal, that we have an obligation to support those who learn Torah to the best of our abilities. So what's wrong? If a person goes and he has that intention, he needs to make a living, he doesn't have money, he's going to go say a drasha, but his drasha he's going to say is to say Musa in Yiras Hashem, he's called a tzaddik. If someone says, this $1 is for tzedakah, so my son should have a refuah, should live. I said, tzaddik gomer, you're allowed to have. Says the Chavetz Chaim, that other intention. Okay, mitzvah kovid, shehilva, u'masava shahana also miskaven. Veinkan mitzvah. I guess it means that the malva, I wish I remembered, someone gave a loan and he needs the mashkin that he's getting for the loan. So one person says, he's still doing a mitzvah because he gave the loan. And the other opinion is that no, he gave the loan because he had his own gain to give that loan. So it's not a mitzvah. If you do it, we know the rule is when Rabbi Kiva argues on one person, the halacha is like Rabbi Kiva. And I guess it's Rabbi Kiva who says that it is a mitzvah. Just what does say the Chafetz Chaim, you do have to be careful. Just whatever happens to that son that he gave the tzedakah in order that he should be healthy, or for something happens and the people don't give him money when he speaks. He shouldn't have regret. He shouldn't regret that he gave the tzedakah or he gave those words of techacha. That is necessary. If he would regret doing the mitzvah, then he would lose it. And says, and we're obligated to judge the speaker, the kavsvus, that his intention was for good. He says, and now the Chafetz Chaim takes out another gun. He says, generally, usually the people making fun of this drasha are people who aren't Yerish Shamayim, and therefore they have to put up a shield. They have to protect themselves from the words of the speaker. When they had Divrei Musa and Terhocha on being lax, for keeping the Torah, which is not what they want to hear, because they are the target. The late doesn't enjoy being rebuked. So what do? They find fault with the person speaking, and in that way, they don't have to listen. It doesn't bother them. Tremendous cloud. If you find fault by somebody, you got to look inside because you most probably you have that fault too. Again, it's on top of that. Many times there's nothing to really knock at the drasha. If you return a shemaya, a drasha is dependent on the person who's listening. Some people, their enjoyment is hearing a new word, a new chiddush, and a pasuk. And some people like it when you make a chakiva, that's what speaks to them. There are others who like stories. Right? So now let's take a look. If an entry that's drasha wasn't his style, it's not what he's looking for. So that's the reason to say that he has nothing to say. He has what to say. It wasn't for you, maybe. Someone else. And specifically, what's common by many times the person speaking, criticizing, he has an ulterior motive. It says he's speaking at a sinner. He has something to get that guy. You're going to chase a sinner al Rav Shabeir, a sinner for the Rav Shalei Zochat Sobedin. He once went to a court. He once went to a din Torah by the Rav and he lost. And he's just looking, to find fault with the Rav. Well, the Rav is a very special person. And the nature of these people, they hate these people, says the Chafetz Chaim in tremendous, powerful words, to the end. Because they know that this Rav does not condone what they're doing. He's not on their side at all. Such people, when they hear the Rav saying a drasha in the shul, so they also go. The kavanasa, but why are they running to the shul? Lahora, they're running for reason. So that afterwards they can find fault. They're not going to be makabel, they're coming to knock. Kisharat Dervish Drasha Gedela Bahavi Drum when the Rav makes a big drasha, speaking about many things. And many points he made were excellent. Encourages the people for Yiras Hashem and Torah. And then he may have also spoken about things that maybe are on a lesser level. So this person who has an ulterior motive, he's looking to find fault. He won't say the truth. He won't say, look, one thing he said was great. The other thing was a little less. Will just say everything was a waste. I'm assuming the Chafetz Chaim was speaking very practically here, that this was a common thing, where the Rav or the Darshan would get up to speak, and there would be people who would criticize him and knock the drasha. While this clown is running to the shul to hear, his intention is not to be inspired, but the Toser basically he's just looking. Where did the guy make a mistake? Where did he slip? So that afterwards he'll have something to make fun of the Rav. And even though he's making a mistake in his thoughts, he thinks people won't catch on. They won't understand. They won't realize what his intention is when he makes fun. It says it's not true. It's because in the future, I guess, in a hobby, everybody's going to know what he was thinking. Right now, he's putting on a veneer of being big tzaddik, and it bothers him that the guy's saying something wrong. And how could he say that? But in Shemayim, it's going to be revealed that that wasn't his intention at all. And the Targum says that, the end of Koheles, at the end, everybody will see. This person, he's going to be punished for going to the shul and for listening to a drasha. And the Lashon Hara spoke afterwards. We find there are four groups of those who go to a base medrash. There are those who go, but they don't learn. But they went with an intention, a good intention. They get schar for going. There's a group that they don't go to base medrash, but rather, I guess they learn at home. But this person is the total opposite. First, he has the punishment. He gets punished for going. He has punish halicha. And then he gets the punishment for what he did, what he said. The Torah commanded, don't speak Lashon Hara, to teach us using the Lashon of Loiselech Rachel. You see that the Isa is also on the going. Besides the actual Lashon Hara, such a person, the words of Chazal, someone goes quickly to do an Avera Makdima like Malach HaMavis, then Malach HaMavis shows up also quickly. Because such a person, Vachu Makdim Rakul Dovar, Valichose the basic Knesses, Yesha Achkach Mala Ali. Besides the fact that he's from the Asar Rishonim. He looks like a old tzaddik, but he's there. So then not afterwards, Tirel Gamkin should take a Vachadrosha based on Mir Sakadish, you'll see that after the drasha, while they're saying Kaddish, Shmiras, Shazel claim that that's what the world exists upon. As the Gemara says, Amal Ilam Mukayim, Omen Yehesh Merabah that got it. The Omen Yehesh Merabah that said after a drasha. He won't take that into account at all. But take a Rotz Chaver immediately. He's going to his colleagues, to the rest of the group. That he knows them. That they're just waiting also for an excuse. One does it as Leitzonis, there. Many times afterwards, they won't hear the brachas. I guess afterwards they would daven. They don't hear that either. They're busy with their lashon hara. If we should make a cheshbon of the surim that he transgressed and those who listened to him, there's no end to it. He said, the guy did it all. The whole take a pen and paper and work your way through. You'll see he did everything. And such a person, he's part of all three groups that Chazal say, Katshakorim, Kachleitzim, Kachasab haLashon hara, Ubiyoisa, and also Shumaneas Arab Ma'avodas Hashem Bazeh. Not only that, but he's now causing others not to be Yogad Hashem. Because by saying what he's saying, he's minimizing the Rav in the eyes of the people. So now when the Rav speaks to the people, they're not going to accept what he has to say. Hashem protect us from such a person and his friends. Close the place. Those who are listening to his words, and they don't speak up. And also the one listening and is quiet and doesn't rebuke him is also punished. We get to Kalches, we see the tremendous Yisurim, the punishments for someone who's Mevaza, a Talmud Chacham. Okay, so that's quite a paragraph or two. Now we have just one line here where on top here it said, right? You don't have that heter. So on the bottom it says, sometimes it's true. The guy speaking is speaking out precourses. It's takanada Yerushalayim. Such a person, we're not speaking about such a person. You're allowed to not give such a person. You're allowed to put down afterwards. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a God-fearing person who's speaking. Okay, let's go over to Shmiras haLashon. Cheshvan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yaitsemizah. Let's see, b'medrash haGodos Bereshis. Right here it said sometimes the punishment for lashon hara is a sakara, which is the worst of the 503 types of deaths in the world. If this refer even worse in the Medrash, at the end of time, everything's going to be fixed up. Except for the Nachash. There's no tikkun for the Nachash. And just like the Nachash has no refuah, so too someone speaks the Hara. Ain't a refuah lost lovai. He also doesn't have refuah. Shenema yishach hanochash b'li lachash kain ein yisra in the bala loshon. In other words, I think it's a pasuk in Koheles. The bala loshon is compared to the nochash. Agav yisra ben shrava precious vayera. Rav Levi lost a kashbach unaychas over kochavim azolis. Even lost the love kashbach will take the oivda avodah zarah. A maridim will get him. He says, "Lama yisem twinktim as one night. Why did you make my children suffer? Knas, gave him punishments. And their response is, Mehem ubehem hayuboyim. There are amongst them those who came. And would tell us bad things about the other. And Kashvoku takes Elu ve'elu. I guess the Baal Lashon Hara and the Avodah Zarah, and puts them both into Gehenna. Because seen in Nami Priked Rebbe Eliezer. Malshin is Chaver Baseiser Ein Lo Refuah. Malshin is someone who speaks Malshina. He has no refuah. Shenema Meloshni Baseiser Re'eu Oisei Atzmis. Atzmis Perish Lachalutin, totally cut off. Because of Echad Aimer Ora Makareo Baseiser. Dalacha, you should know who came. Boyer Ea Nochash. He says, let's go look at the Nochash. Shehilshim ben Akashbachu ben Adam ve'Ezrei. This is the Lashon Piked Rebbe Eliezer. The Nochash, who was Malshin about HaKadosh Baruch Hu to Adam and Chava, Aurora HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu cursed him, Shia Ofar Machaloi, that his food sustenance will be the dirt. Shenem of Ofar Toichal, Yemechayecha, Perish. Moishe Shom Ksiv Kol Yemechayecha. Just like there, and it's a proof to the Atzmis that it's Lachalutin, just like by Nochash, it says it's Kol Yemei Chayecha, Ubevadai HaKavana Shal Yisrap after the Moisa Mashiach says in Chavetz Chaim. And it's certain that when it says Kol Yemei Chayecha, it means even times of Mashiach. Moisham Rebrachos, Yemei Chayecha Elam Hazeh, Kol Yemei Chayecha L'Havi Moisa Mashiach. So Kol Yemei Chayecha is to the end of times. Afkan. So to buy this Malshin ain't like before Tommy, because every easy time came to Swarm Akadoshin, Shamasapa Lashon Hara, Mizainoso Mismat in Kanochosh. His sustenance is minimized like the Nochosh, and the Smatu Mizainosha. Upasharu. Let's just finish the parak. There's someone who does this regularly. Onshoy Shenena Shavozeh Banias Vidal Sushar Tzarasu Gam came Bitmidius towards Tzoras Muchletes. So he says his punishment of poorness and all the other tzaras are also constant. Just like in place of that, really he should have Tzoras Muchlet, that he stays at Tzoras until he's purified. It should have been a Tzara Mitzara Muchletes. Instead of that, he's getting these sufferings. So it's Tmidas. So we see, and it was this shar was this parak was discussing how it's bad to be Lashon even in this world. So they punish you in this world, and you get punished with all kind of tzaras and aniyas. It's not enough to these bali lashon that they cause themselves to be punished. The world is punished because of them. That the world also is minimized. Says the Gemara says, Amar of Shimon Pazi. Ein HaGashon Netzorim, rain is not stopped. El B'Shrum Musapre Lashon Hara. Rain is the mashal for plenty. And it's Netzorim because of the Musapre Lashon Hara. Shenema V'Chulu, V'Gam Garim Moisa V'Char V'Ktola B'Alma, and they causes death in the world. As he already said. earlier. Akena Chovetz B'chayev V'Chayev Oilam Yinsol Hashanim Meravi Yitoiv Loi B'Zeh Ubavo. Okay, let's wish each other Gemat Sima Teva, a good gebenched year. We should all be Nechtam B'Sefer Shel Tzadikim Gemurim. We should all have a wonderful year and a healthy year and year of plenty, nachas, everything we could wish. We should be Zeichen Mashiach Tzidkenu, and we'll continue.
Amen.
Amen.
We'll continue Tuesday night.